I know what you guys are all thinking. Oscar Piastri, what a disastrous weekend he has had. And a lot of talk will be on the fact that maybe the title's getting to him. Maybe there's a lot of pressure on his part. Listen, Oscar Piastri will be okay. He will be fine. I like how in the course of a season, we forget about somebody's consistency and instead we just talk about the here and now, the moments, the big moments, the things that are very much derailing somebody's performances. Something that we're talking about, he had an awful, awful weekend in Baku. And you would argue they were all his fault. Whether it was the crash in qualifying, whether it was the jump start in the race on Sunday, and whether it was the crash in the race, hitting the wall again on Sunday as well. Oscar Piastri did have a bad day at the office. I think it's safe to say he had a bad day at the office. But I don't think people need to start going into all these crazy conversations about title race, about anything of that sort. I told you guys after race week 10, the championship was over. Oscar Piastri is your world champion. I said, spoiler alert, Oscar Piastri is the 2025 Formula One world champion. And that wasn't me trying to be clickbaity or me trying to be funny. You got to see what's going on behind the helmet, if you will. What's going on beyond the track times? What's going on beyond the race wins, beyond the performances? There's things that you need to have a look at and point to. Lando Norris, I'm sure many people will argue this should have been his title this year. And totally understandable. Totally get the reasons why people would be saying this. This was the opportunity. This was the moment where Lando Norris was going to capitalize and become world champion in Formula One for the first time. Especially if McLaren can finally get a car together to really fight for championships, to really fight at the forefront of the season. And they have been fighting at the forefront. And in fairness to Lando Norris, he's got a couple of race wins. He's got pole positions. So tick. However, Oscar Piastri has been that good. He's been that good. And when you think back to when he had the absolute mare in Australia, you could easily say, right, confidence, that could knock him out. Because I remember the first couple of years, Oscar Piastri at McLaren. And one of the things I did notice was when he made a mistake, he just could not get over those mistakes. Like it would play on him for a couple of weeks. And do you know what the weird thing is about that time? That time he was probably like in the middle of the park, on the middle of the track, fighting like P7, P6, P9 around them times. And you notice at the start of a race in those days, he was always getting in collisions. He could not escape collisions, whether they were his fault or not his fault. He was always getting involved in collisions. And it was frustrating. And it was very annoying if you're a McLaren fan, if you're an Oscar Piastri fan. And it was just so ironic. Like he was P9 in quali. And sure, jump started, he's not used to P9 anymore. This man lives on the front row. He lives on the front row. P3 at the worst. And obviously, it probably caught him off guard, a lot of things. That, starting P9, like, where am I? Cars are surrounding me. Cars in front. And, for whatever reason, he lost concentration. Something went and he jump start, right? Then he hits the wall. So after that jump start, he's like plumb last now. He's at the end. He's at the back. And then, I don't know, if you're Oscar Piastri, you're thinking about the psychology, you're thinking about everything that he's been going through. What was going through his mind in those first turns of the race when he's thinking, this race is over? Like, this is done. And this is going to be a big problem in my championship, in my title fight. And lucky for him, all Lando could muster was a P7. Thank God if you're Oscar Piastri, right? But to see Max Verstappen as well be the one that actually gets to 25 points, you're asking yourself, hang on, is that good for me? Is that a good result? You'd rather Max than it be Lando Norris. But the idea that we're entertaining whether or not Max Verstappen is in this title race. Listen, guys, Lando Norris is not in this title race. What we're doing bringing in Max into the equation, I get it. Look, Max is still phenomenal. He's great. He's good. And there are still some other Grand Prix that are to come that Max will be good at. I'm sure he'll be good in Mexico. I'm sure he'll be good at Interlagos in Brazil. Like Max Verstappen's got a few circuits that he's good at. Abu Dhabi, another one. So let's just say Max gets 3 wins between now and the end of the season. Boy, that would ruffle some feathers. But I don't see it happening. I see Oscar, when the mistake happens, when something happened that doesn't go his way, the next weekend, the next race weekend, the man bounces back. He bounces back. And so when we get into that stage of, oh no, what's going on? Like, is the pressure getting to him? Is it this, that, and the other? Guys, nonsense. There's no pressure getting to this man. And he's allowed a bad day at the office. He's been so good, so consistent, ever present all season. We've been able, as McLaren fans, to rely our hat on Oscar more than we've had to do it on Norris. And we're sitting in a scenario now where we're questioning Oscar. We're questioning Piastri after how long? 17 races this season we've had. He's probably had about 3 horrible days. Horrible race weekends. And I only know 2. I'm just giving 3 just in case there's something I've forgotten. So if that's the case, like, what are we doing here? 15, 14 races where he's been top notch. It's been good. He's been doing his thing. I can't see how or why we're having these conversations about Oscar Piastri as if he's some sort of a bum. As if he's not going to win the championship. The championship is his. To all the Max Verstappen fans out there that think, oh, this title race is on. Sorry, guys, it's not on. To the Lando Norris people that thought, oh my God, a glimmer of hope. See, the thing that Lando had to do was to make sure that in case Oscar flops, in case Oscar drops points, in case Oscar has bad luck, in case Oscar has a terrible day at the office, in case Oscar makes mistakes, me, Lando Norris, I'm going to be right there. P1 every single time. Right on the heels. For, oh, any mistake? Excellent. Mine. Lando has to rob wins from now to the rest of the season. And yet he's not even in the same country at that times. That's how it feels. It might not be the case, but that's how it feels. Oscar Piastri will be fine. Guys, he's going to be okay. And he's going to go ahead and finish the job he started. And that is to win the Drivers' Championship in Formula 1 in 2025 and be his first championship. And McLaren's first driver's title since Lewis Hamilton in 2008. Yeah, I don't get the hype. I don't get the noise. I don't get it. Oscar's allowed to have a bad day. He's allowed to have a bad day at the office. And I think everyone should just pump the brakes. Everyone should calm down because we know Oscar Piastri will be fine. We know Oscar Piastri will be the Formula 1 2025 champion. You don't believe me? Have a look at this video that I predicted after race week 10 that Oscar Piastri will win the Drivers' Championship. YouTube thinks that you might like this video over here. If you don't want to hear me talk about Oscar Piastri, who knows? Maybe something else that YouTube has to offer. But if you like Formula 1 content like this, smash a like. Let me know in the comment section down below. Like, is Oscar okay? Is he going to be fine? Are people over-exaggerating? Or am I missing something? Is there a massive Max Verstappen chip that I'm missing? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Subscribe to the channel if you like Formula 1 content like this. Let's get myself up to 1K, shall we? Until next time, lights out.